I would like to introduce Dr. Sanjay Agarwal, who is a distinguished speaker and expert for the panel, for the webinar today. And, if I may yeah, just add few things, he has outstanding credentials, obviously, as a physician, and he's the CEO of the Sleep Center, California Sleep Center, and the CEO of California Specialty Physicians. But he has years and years worth of experience working on these aspects of sleep. So without much ado, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Agarwal. And you heard quite a few things right now, and I'll just turn it over to you, and then we'll get into Q&A after that.
Thank you, Mr. Janarkar. Thank you to all the panelists, Aruna, Titash, Amal, Veenaji, to share your experiences. And, it's very interesting because all of you point towards certain things which are kind of bread and butter of my practice. So, when I mentioned about yoga, meditation, and things helping about the quality of sleep and being happy with that, happiness brings in the good sleep, which Amal also pointed about. I think that is so true, though. So, I just wanted to touch upon as to what's the physiology of sleep. In my last presentation for the same platform, I had mentioned about the physiology of sleep, what is normal, and then something creeps in which makes it abnormal. And then you had to make a solution as to how to fix that to go back to normal again. So normal sleep for an adult, all of us are adults here. So I don't know how many participants there who are in the child age group, but basically as an adult, we need about 8 hours of sleep. Let's scale back about 10,000 years ago. And I would say that, we didn't have any devices that time, no computers, no smartphones, no TV, and no night shift work. And sun goes down and we used to go down, sun wakes up and we used to wake up as well. So early to bed makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise, the British used to say. And in our practices in Asian culture, we used to wake up in the morning, do your yoga, do our daily chores, and get back to work by 7 o'clock in the morning. So Brahma Muhurta and all the concepts which you might have heard in the past is actually now proven to be true. And that's where, Amal's comment about circadian rhythm comes into play. As to there is a rhythm in the body. So the rhythm in the nature, sun wakes up at 6 o'clock in the morning, somewhere around 6 o'clock in the morning, and sun goes down, sunsets happen at 6 o'clock in the evening when moon takes over. And that's about 24 hours a cycle. And that's been there for billions of years. So interestingly, we found that the sun controls the center part of the brain through this very small pea-sized nucleus body, and that's called the suprachiasmatic nuclei. And that secretes melatonin, and actually that controls the entire body through the hypothalamus tract and the pituitary gland, and secretes all those, 16 different hormones which pituitary gland secretes, including a growth hormone and stress hormone and sex hormones and whatnot. And I think that controls the whole dynamics of the body. So every cell in the body is controlled by the sunlight. So sunlight, we expose ourselves to sunlight, and that makes us less depressed, more happy. So the concept of sun god and sun temples and stuff like that back in India comes from that. So I believe that waking up in time and sleeping in time, ideally maybe 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. or 9 p.m. to 9:30 a.m. to p.m. to 5:30 a.m. is the best time. So I'd way to do it. Now, let's say scale back now 10,000 years coming present. And that's where Amal's thing was. If he has to work in the night shift, then it's a whole different disorder in the CPT code. In medicine, we have a disease code called ICD codes and a procedure code called CPT code. And everything has been numbered, just like we are numbered. All of us are numbered. Social security number and Aadhaar card number and PAN number and whatnot. I think we all numbered. So we diseased also are numbered, and the CPT codes are numbered as well. So there's a CPT code for jet lag syndrome, and there's a CPT code for shift work disorder, and there's a CPT code for advanced sleep phase and delayed sleep phase. And the reason why they are all there is because circadian rhythm is so rampant in the community. People like adolescents in the teenage group, they tend to go to bed by, let's say, 2 o'clock in the morning. And as they start further into the social activities, playing with all those new sites, I can't even remember them. So they are so busy, they go to bed at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, and then they have to go to school at 8. So where do you get your 8 hours, 9 hours of sleep, which is needed for you to protect your body, repair, which Veena talked about and Amal talked about, and happiness? They're all dependent on your 8 hours of sleep in the night, for sure. So you need to get your 8 hours of sleep. So that's delayed sleep phase. Your phase is out of synchronization from 10 to 6, the way I was talking about. So not synchronized with the nature. So to create that, let's say if you're working at 10 o'clock, going to work and waking up at 6 o'clock, coming back home, and you go to bed at 7. So what I would suggest, Amal, is that maybe what I tell my patients is to go to bed at 7 o'clock in the morning, and you get your at least 6 hours in a consistent manner in one consolidated phase. And that's where the physiology of sleep matters again, because you go from your stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 sleep, then you have a REM sleep pattern, and this is about 90 minutes a cycle. And you want to have this 90-minute cycle back to back, at least for 3 or 4 of them, to be able to get that repair process the body needs. So stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. And stage 3 is what we call deep sleep. And these 3 stages comprise of what we call as non-REM sleep. Then you have a REM sleep. So non-REM and REM. And non-REM is divided into stage 1, which is just a transition sleep, going to stage 2, where you spend most of the night. And stage 3 is a deep sleep, where actually the body repair process takes place. So it's important and it's very imperative that you actually sleep your 6 hours at a go if you can. It's not good to sleep 2 hours in the morning, then do some chores, come back, do some show, 2 hours of sleep again, and then 1 hour sleep in the evening, because the back to back sleep has not happened. So, and I also want this to be in a consistent manner. You don't see the sun waking up at 6 o'clock someday and 4 o'clock someday and 10 o'clock someday, and then or winter season coming at in June and the summer season coming at October some years, and it doesn't happen that way. Well, we're not talking about last 10 years with the weather change, all the climate change happening around. But I think this is what normal is, and we want to create normal. And that's coming back to Tita's point when she talks about, I want to have a, yeah, the soft mattress is not good because you want to create a natural environment for sleep. So the natural environment for sleep would be, think about midnight. What happens? It's totally dark out there. It's totally silent out there. You can hear a pin drop silence. You can hear a pin drop. So you want to create the same environment when you are sleeping in the daytime, right, Amal? So if you are sleeping, let's say 7 o'clock, your bedroom should be totally dark. You want to make sure that the nighttime environment is maintained. You want to have a nice pillow which it can give you comfort, not like 5 pillows looped up and your neck is bent all over. Sometimes I hear people, oh, I use 3 pillows to sleep, but you cannot sleep with 3 pillows because your neck will be all bent. That's not normal posture for the body. So you want to maintain the normal spine posture as well. So let's say if you have, like Tita's point, she mentioned about having a spine scoliosis or kyphosis, or, and you want to have support that system as much as you can with the support of pillows or decent sized firm mattress, good pillow cover. So just like spine is elevated just about 3 or 4 inches. And that's a whole different science where I'm not, I'm not expert enough to talk on that, but you want to create a as close to normal sleep environment in the daytime. So let's say Amal goes to bed at 7 o'clock in the morning and wakes up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. He has to maintain the same nighttime environment in the daytime, and no exposure to light at 7 o'clock in the morning, because in the evening we have this yellow lights around, not the white light, which actually affects the quality of sleep because a hormonal imbalance happens. So, so good sleep qualities would be, I would say, sleeping in a very consistent manner, in a consolidated fashion, every day at the same time to go to bed. Try to get your 7 or 8 hours of sleep on a daily basis. Less sleep is going to make you unhappy as well. And meditation and yoga and other things, which I'm actually very happy that Sachin promotes all that to all his clients. This is something which is very crucial for having a proper good night's sleep as well. So that would be my take home points from all these presentations from the wonderful panelists.